Sure.
Because you're going to say a bunch of excellent stuff here, Geoff, and later be like, "Ah, what was he saying?"
Yeah, I mean the thing that Phoranso what he does is it uses it tries to use the APAS catalog to find comp stars that are roughly the same color, um, which is what you want to do. Um, and I think the issue, at least what I saw, was is that they're there. It's just that they're not in the globular, right? And I think a lot of that has to do with how they made the catalog. Um, I mean, actually, the APAS telescopes, two of them that they used are like a couple hundred yards from me here, and they're extremely wide field. They're three degree field of view telescopes, and so it doesn't have in the 9 micron pixels, and so it it can't resolve the much inside the globular. It's just too cluttered. Um, and so what I had to do is go out around the edge and to find stars that had uh, R band um, uh, data from the catalog. Um,
So is it only R band we have to be concerned with, or is there other?
well, I mean, I guess it depends what filter you used. Um, I think that's why I was looking for R's. I thought the sample you sent me was done in R, but I could be mistaken. But in any case, I mean, it'll find you comp stars. It's just but they're gonna be out around the
Well, we can't
outside.
resolve much inside the globular itself. I mean, we have to basically concentrate what we're going to be doing around the the exterior of the globular.
Yeah,
We just
yeah,
can't resolve it.
yeah. And I don't know what I did with the, the sample you sent me. Let's see here.
Yeah, so I mean, what would be helpful, at least for me, I mean, Grace can jump in here and Art can jump in too. So would just kind of just take us through the process there, Geoff, of what you,
Okay,
you would
okay.
do, as we process these guys. And so we can try to
Yeah, I
mimic
mean,
it later. So,
I can do that.
okay, that'd be
So
great.
let's see here.
Unless Art has something else he wants to look at first or whatever. So,
No,
No,
no, just going through his process, and then we can just ask questions as he goes along. I think that's the best bet.
yeah, me too.
yeah. So okay, so if you can let me share here.
Oh, I got to let you share. Hang on. Uh, okay, you should be able to.
Let's see here. Da, da, da. I have way too many windows. Where? Da, da.
Now, I did set this meeting up, but I didn't use my other Zoom number, so hopefully it's not going to cut us off at 45 minutes. So.
Where? Oh, here we go. All right. Okay. So we're here. So this is the window. And typically what I'll do is I'll just say, open a FITS file. Um, these are some ones that I was just working on um, as a flare star. But, you just open one of them. Takes it a minute. Um, Let me get one later in the sequence that'll have better contrast. The seeing was bad to start. Let's see here. This looks a little better. Yeah, it's a little better. Um, then what I do is I just go down here and plate solve it. And, you can change these. I mean, I'm using Pinpoint because I have a copy of Pinpoint, but you can use ASTAP, you can use plate solve 3, whichever one you prefer. ASTAP's probably the fastest one. Um, anyway, you click this and it plate solves, and it was really fast because it remembered the plate solution from when I worked on this earlier. And yeah, you can see it's using the APAS catalog, you know, center position and all that.
Does it,
Um,
does it pick that on its own? Or is that
yeah,
something, is that a setting that you had to?
it, I, you maybe, I'm not sure. I think you can change it, but by default it uses, it tries to use DR10 if it can.
Okay,
There are some holes in the there's some holes in the catalog where it'll fall back to something else, but DR10's got pretty good sky coverage. There's just a couple little narrow areas where um, it's incomplete.
okay.
And then what I do is I do this. This is the load the catalogs, and this will actually go out to VSX, and it'll find everything that's in the catalog, whether it has an AUID or not. Um, and so you can see actually there's a whole bunch of variables in the field here.
And the variables are the yellow and the red or something?
Yeah, I mean, the yellow ones are ones where I've already
Yeah,
got
yeah, very good.
a card for them.
Okay.
Let me zoom in a little bit here. And the rest of these, and actually if you hover over them,
Mhm.
it'll tell you, it's like, oh, see this one, it's an eclipsing binary, and
Yeah,
shows
nice.
you the mag range and the period. This is all stuff from VSX. So if it's a known variable, and VSX is pretty complete now with all of the Gaia variables in it. Um, you know, and some of these, yeah, here's another eclipsing binary, another, you know, and some of these like, okay, and then you'll see these where it just says ROT, and it basically doesn't really know what it is, and if you look, it's really low amplitude. It's only 20 millimag or 40 millimags. So it doesn't really know what it is.
That could be an exoplanet.
Well, yeah, and it's 17th magnitude, right? And
Yeah.
so, you know, most
Yeah,
people can't deal with that. Um,
right.
and then this is actually the star that I was observing, you know, and you can see actually there's its AUID in VSX because it's got an assigned one in the mag range. So I'm just going to go, um, I'm going to go delete the card for this just so I can go through the process.
While you're in there, is it not necessary to deactivate all the cards that you're not going to use for
No,
this?
no, uh-uh.
It knows what it is. It knows what.
It knows what's in the field of view. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So delete complete ID card. Yeah. So let me yeah, see now maybe I have to do this too
Hmm.
because I've already, so now I'll start from scratch. Oh, let's pick a better one. It was cloudy early in the evening.
And this is one you acquired?
Yeah, this was from night or two ago.
Okay.
It's like we're co-observing with some folks from University of Colorado. So now if I, oh, now I made it. I can't. There. I'll go solve it, and then I'll load my catalog. And so now, like if I wanted to do this one, I can say, you know, the way I do it is I say copy name to the clipboard. Then I go up here and say I want to make a new variable ID card for it,
Oh, okay.
and I paste the name in here, and I can just go look up. And then what you do is I'm going to just open a FITS image here.
And it could be the same one you've already opened.
It can be, yeah, it could be the same one, or you know, any one that has the same field of view.
Right.
Um, and then you'll see this, and the green ones are ones that it's saying these you could use these as comp stars. Um, And the other thing that it does is if there's actually a AAVSO sequence for this particular star, and that's what these numbers are. So if you went and looked at the chart from AAVSO for this star, these stars would be called out on it as part of the sequence.
You talking about a time series sequence showing you?
Well, it's for just a comparison star sequence, whether it's a single
Okay.
image or a time series, it doesn't really matter. It's just these are the stars that it's going to use to determine because they're not variable,
Right.
and they have known brightnesses and colors. And
Mhm.
you can see like on this one, it's telling me the B minus V,
Mhm.
and then it has BVR and I magnitudes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and this particular one, it's actually very, very blue. Um, so
Those numbers are actually the magnitude, aren't they? 133 is 13.3.
yeah, it is. Yep, 13.3, 12 and a half, 15 is 8.1. Only reason that's so bright is that this is a flare star that can actually look at the mag range, 12.9, 8.6 to
Wow.
12.9.
Wow.
And and so when it's quiescent, it's around 12th magnitude or so, but when it flares,
Brighton.
if you get a
Yeah.
big flare, it can go all the way up to 8.
Mm.
So it's kind of tricky to observe because you don't want to, it's really, at least on my telescope, it's really easy to saturate this 8th magnitude star. I mean, it only takes like 3 or 4 seconds in V
Hmm.
to saturate. But anyway, so what you do then is, and if you look over here, this is going to keep track of the stars that you pick. Um, so, and you don't have to use you just pick any of these green ones. And so what I try to do is just pick one that's, well, I know this is about 12th magnitude, so I want for me, when I'm picking a comp, I want it to be a little brighter. So I get a little better SNR, so, maybe like this one. Um, well, and
You're-
it depends which band too, because I actually did this in both B and V. So,
Okay.
um, but like you could pick this one and you say, oh, I want that as a reference star. Um, I'm just going to pick some of these, and let's see, I'm going to pick this one.
Do you get too picky between reference check or comp stars, or just pick what you can for all three?
You just pick what you have to have the reference stars. These are the ones that it actually uses to calculate the the magnitude of the target.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I've never quite understood the point of the comp stars myself, but you don't
Yeah.
required to pick them. It's usually a good idea to pick a check star.
Well,
Um,
no, you don't. Okay, go ahead.
just because it's an indicator of like if there were clouds passing clouds or something, you'll see that check star wobble around instead of a nice straight line.
Okay.
Oh,
um,
okay. Yeah.
so I could pick, I don't know.
So, I mean, are you limited to how many check and stars or whatever you
The
need to?
check star is a single one.
A
The
single one. Okay.
you can have as many ref stars as you want. If
Okay.
you can have one or you can have more than one, and then it treats it as an ensemble.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and let's see.
Do you see any use in having multiple ref stars in your experience?
I typically will pick at least two.
Okay.
Although there's cases where if there's like a different star that a bunch of people are monitoring, and we all use exactly the same. We use one reference star and one comp star, and we all have the same one.
Okay.
because we want to be our data to be, and then when everybody transforms, all the data can be stitched together, without, and it gets rid of the systematics, so that when you try to have you work with people at different longitudes, that the data will line up in the quiescent, because it's another flare star, so it'll bump along at a fixed magnitude, and then it'll go point, and so anyway, so that's what you do, and then you say save the card. And then the other thing you can do, and I don't know, so are you seeing yeah, I think you should see this clone thing.
Yeah, we've been doing that since we don't really have specific targets. We're just finding one and then hitting clone and letting it find everything else it can within the
Yeah,
clone.
yeah. I mean, and so, I could pick some of these and it'll use the same reference stars. It's sort of debatable whether that's a good practice or not.
Well, I was wondering about that when we were doing it, but I just proceeded. That's one of the question marks that I needed answered, and you just answered it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I have enough expertise to give a solid answer on whether you should do that or not. Um,
Yeah,
I think it might be a little bit of a religious matter, but and it sort of depends what you're looking for, right? I mean, um, like one of these eclipsing binaries, typically what you're observing it for is to find times a minima, and so the absolute uh, magnitude is maybe not quite as important, but but the real issue is the extinction effects. So if your comparison stars are different colors, if they're too different, particularly if you've got something blue and something red, as they get lower, go to a higher air mass and they get lower, um, one's going to get attenuated more than the other. The blue will get attenuated and the red won't, and so it'll throw off uh, uh, the
Yeah.
the what it thinks the magnitude of your target is.
that makes
So
sense.
so the idea is to try to get comparison stars that are of similar color, and that's what these why these excuse me, these AVSO has these sequences. They have a group of people that you say, oh, I found this star, and when you look it up in the variable star plotter on AVSO, if it doesn't have a chart for it, you can send an email and they'll make a sequence for you. They'll go out and find good comp stars, and publish them, and they're pretty quick about it. Usually it takes less than a day, sometimes a few hours,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, I mean, there's just a bunch of folks that do it for AVSO.
Yeah, with the clusters, they kind of stay away from that. I tried to create a few AU IDs through Phoranso with them, and they said, "Yeah, don't do that."
Yeah. So I don't know, and then so once you've done that and you save the card, then it's really simple. You go to photometry, you pick the the directory where your FITS files are, um, and you say go.
So calibration, it seems like everything we have is already pre-calibrated, and probably
Yeah,
you probably calibrate in your acquisition process. So you don't worry about doing a calibration group and all that with this.
yeah. I don't use it. Uh, I I tested it. I was actually one of the beta testers for Tani for this, but I typically use AIJ to calibrate everything. Um,
Okay.
and it's not that I have anything against doing it with Phoranso. It's just that's my habit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
um,
All right. So when you say calibrate it now, what are you saying exactly?
Well, when I get the raw images from
Right.
the
Right.
telescope, I have to do dark
Oh, yeah.
subtraction
Yeah.
and
Okay.
flat
Yeah. All the
fielding.
darks and masters and that kind of stuff. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
Okay.
then the way I do it is
Ah, so
I
you go to yeah, what I'm trying to think of. We just mentioned.
Astro Image J
Yeah, Astronomist
is
J and calibrate them in there and then just stick them into a folder and you just pick up the folder here when you're doing the processing.
yeah. If you look up here, you see it's this pipeline out. That's the default name of the folder where AIJ puts
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Um, if you don't change it. Um,
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
and
How about annulus size? Do you ever mess with that?
I let it pick. Let's see here. Let me stop this. So, um, so I just have this multiplier based on the full width half max, and
Oh,
then the gap. And so these are the settings I use. Um, you know,
Mhm.
you can actually have it do it multiple times with different
hmm.
aperture settings.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
these I find work pretty good for me for my image scale. Um, you know, um,
I was going in there
if you
with,
went and looked at VFOT, you'd find that it has this same kind of setting.
okay,
And it sort of depends, it's a trade-off. So anyway,
all
I
right.
mean, um, so it's, basically if the seeing gets better or worse, it's adapting the central aperture. Um,
Oh, it's doing that automatically. Oh.
it
Oh.
calculates the full width half max of every
Yeah.
image.
Yeah. And then you got
Yeah,
what, 1.6? Is that what that
and I
was?
use 1.6 of the whole full, yeah, as the aperture. You could go a little smaller. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
um, and then beyond
Well,
that,
that's pretty.
it's a
Yeah.
gap, always a gap of 5 pixels, and then the
Right.
annulus is always 8 pixels,
Yeah.
and
Okay. Yeah.
those are just sort of
Yeah.
arbitrary
Yeah.
numbers that I picked.
No, that's very cool.
That's a lot easier than the way I was trying to do it. I was trying to set each individual annulus,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's what
mean,
I was doing before. Yeah.
if
thinking
this
just,
if the seeing's really good and it's steady, you
Hmm.
can get away with that. But I
Hmm.
find this works better, and
okay.
this is what VFOT does. It's adaptive.
Okay.
Um,
So the number 1.6, what was that derived? What was that based off of?
Oh man.
so, yeah, I mean, typically you'll see these go from like 1.2 to this is a little on the high side. Um, and my understanding is it's a trade-off on precision versus SNR. Um, and I don't, it's been so long since I've messed with that I don't remember but my memory is you can get more precision um, if it's a smaller number, but you sacrifice SNR when you do that. And
Right, I can see
and
that because if your star starts getting slightly out of focus, your full width half max is going to go up, so therefore your annulus is going to increase your aperture.
yeah, yeah, and so it's this way I get more signal because I'm looking at more pixels.
Okay,
Um, um, and then if you have um, one of the things I have to do is sometimes I use a clear filter, and sometimes I have a blue blocker that I use for my asteroid work and for exoplanets. Um, and the reason for that is it uh, filters out all the blue. So it's basically a yellow filter that has a long pass, and anything that's shorter than, I think it's 700 nanometers gets cut off. And the reason is that it's the extinction thing. So it greatly reduces the effect of extinction as the target gets lower and you're looking through more air. And and then when I use it, I always reduce to Sloan magnitudes. But again,
So,
it's go ahead.
so why for exoplanets is specific?
Because I don't really care about the absolute magnitude.
Right, you're
What
looking for
I'm looking for is the dip.
differential. Yeah, the dip. Yeah.
And so what I want is I want to reduce as much as possible the effect of extinction, which will skew the light curve.
Okay.
As the target gets lower, anything in the blue is going to get reduced faster than the red end.
Yeah, the red end.
Hmm.
And so
how low do you generally limit yourself? As far as
it depends. Typically, I don't want to go lower than 30 degrees to air masses,
okay.
but I mean, there's some things that I'll go a lot lower. I mean, right now with one of them, we're still observing T-Corbor, and we can go down to about 5 or 10 degrees. It's like, I mean, we only get to see it for a few minutes now, but anyway, so that's, and you can use this to map a filter to any band, or well, I could say R. I guess he used to have it. You could do anyone. Anyway.
So you use clear blue blocker for all your exoplanets. I've been choosing whichever one fits the spectral type of the star.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll use R.
Okay.
Or a Sloan R.
Yeah.
And it's more because most of the transits that I observe, I give the data to Calais for her students.
Mm-hmm.
And it, if you use the blue blocker, you have to go in and it's a little bit more complicated to use exotic, because I think now they finally put in a where it'll recognize the filter, but before they didn't, and so you had to go in and tell it the full width, half max, and center wavelength of the filter, and for exotic to work, and so yeah. And then the other thing that mostly what I observe are asteroids, and I'm doing rotation studies, and it's another case where I don't really care a whole lot about the absolute accuracy of the magnitude. I just need them to be comparable so I can get a nice light curve from night to night. And it's the same thing because I may be watching it depending on what I think its rotation rate is. I may be watching it down at a pretty low altitude.
Okay.
So, and then as time goes on, it's the altitude will change, because it's moving as its orbit moves, the sort of the peak altitude changes in time from day to day. So anyway, but that's about it. I mean, you just let it run until it's done.
So when it's done, you hit that light curve,
and you can,
that it produces the,
and you can see, like I was getting those first images were really dim, really cloudy, and so the other thing is there's a minimum. I think it's here. Thought there was a setting for that. Maybe is it here? Oh yeah, here's where you put your coefficients in if you're transforming.
Transforming to different colors.
Yeah, different wavelength too.
It's So just because you have let's say a Sloan R filter, and you're observing with that, and I have a Sloan R filter and I'm observing with that, but we're using different telescopes,
Mhm.
we're going to get slightly different results
Yeah.
because the effects of the light going through my telescope and whatever, like I have a corrector lens, and my filter may be older than your filter, and you know there's the spectral response of my camera is going to be different um, than yours, and so you can correct for all that so that everybody you can come up with these correction coefficients to transform the data onto a standard system that,
Okay.
that corrects for all of those systematics that are present. And the way that you do that is you go observe one of the standard fields, what is it, NGC 7790, or what is it, M67? And there's, you go image those in different filters, and then there's a process that you do to fit fit things to a line that gives you the transform coordinates for each color pair.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
There again,
and
you're converting it to a standardized system. So what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the idea. So that and AVSO would prefer that everybody did it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a tricky process to get the coefficients, and then it's something that you need to redo periodically because the filters age, other things
Mm-hmm.
change. Um, so yeah,
Is that something you would do if you had like kind of like what you're doing with this one particular star where you're
yeah,
collaborating with other
actually,
people?
yeah, that's what yeah, I need to do that. I just started doing this, and so I gotta go. The first thing is I was just looking to see if I even catch a flare, but if I do, I need to transform everything so that, because what we're trying to do is measure the energy of the flare, and
Mhm.
so we need to be able to integrate underneath the flare, and we need to
Curve,
be
yeah.
able to compare those.
Right.
Um, yeah. Um,
Okay.
and flares are really cool because they don't last very long at all. I mean, it'll go from quiescent. We had one that'll go up 4 magnitudes in, like 10 seconds.
Whoa.
And then it'll
Gee.
decay back down to quiescence, and it might take 15 minutes, and it's back down. They're
Hmm.
really, really violent events and rapid.
So there's no periodic cycle to them that they can determine, or is
No,
it within a
no,
range or something? No, just
no,
well, something. Well, some physics is going on. It calls them
there's,
to
yes, but it's not understood, which is
not
why
understood. Okay.
we're
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah. 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 No, understand.
It's
um,
obviously not a solar system you want to live in.
yeah, you got that
Uh,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
because they're incredibly energetic, right? I mean,
Huh.
yeah, and and they're really, really bright blue. I mean,
Hmm.
we've been observing them in ultraviolet as well,
Okay. Cool.
um, and because we're up high enough here that we can actually get
You
U
get some
band.
ultraviolet. Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool.
Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, anyway,
Hmm.
so yeah, and so you go enter all of those in here, um, and you see
Okay.
there's one for all sorts of, you don't have to do them all. Um, it really depends on what filters you use. Um,
Okay.
Okay.
but you need at least two, you know, to find any coefficients. Yeah, and so then you get this log file, and I guess I didn't let it run long enough.
You
Just
just
start it going
continue.
again, and it'll.
So you don't necessarily get too worried over every little error that pops up and redo it and try to troubleshoot every single one, or you just know this
Well,
because
I
of the.
just and here's so here's the other. I shouldn't. I wish I hadn't erased this now.
Mm.
So here's the other thing. So this particular star is a very high proper motion star.
Oh, I see that.
Mhm.
And so this is the catalog coordinates,
Oh, yeah,
but
it's
this is
moved.
where it
Yeah.
actually is.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so, and if you go look in the Phoranso manual, there actually is a procedure described for exactly this case, um, of how what you have to do when you make the card. You put the name in, and then you actually go type in the coordinates where it really is. So what you do is you plate solve this image,
Mhm.
and then you
Just
find
to
out,
start
well,
to
what's
it,
the
yeah.
what's the real RA in deck in
Right. Plug that
J2000,
in.
and enter that in here,
Okay.
and then and then it's the same procedure after that. Um,
So is that what star is that aperture looking for? Was that your target or was that a reference? Or
this is the target.
that is the target? Okay.
Yeah, this is yeah. I mean, if I here, I'll show you. If I open a file, open one of these. Let's see. Here's a blue one. Um, Come on. There we go. Okay, so if I solve this one, and then I look for the catalog stars, okay, it says this is the target YZ Canis
Oh,
Minor,
it's kind of, well,
but you see it's not.
Actually on the target.
Yeah,
Yeah. Unless you correct that, then when you're running Fronto, it's going to be picking up
yeah,
there,
and it
right?
was yeah, and it was that's why it was giving me these errors. If I look in the
Yeah,
log
yeah,
file,
yeah.
it
You're like,
says
hey,
it
yeah,
says oh, the SNR is too low. Yeah, it's 0 because there's nothing there.
right. You're not actually on the target itself. Yeah, okay.
I
Yeah,
noticed in the VSX they do have proper motion entries in the indexes when you open them up for each star. And I think I understood Sebastian is saying that they're going to be applying Gaia DR3.
proper
Uh,
motions.
yeah,
That would be good. I mean, I wish Tani would do that. It's like, go look them up, but it's yeah, anyway.
yeah.
Well, and it's actually a trickier calculation than you think to apply those proper motions. So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, I've seen some that are huge. I don't know. Well, you remember that Pandora one, right, Art?
Yeah. I think I was, I
It
think I
was like
was,
halfway across the screen, up across the image.
I actually validated that one just not a few weeks ago for exoplanet watch. I think it
Yeah.
was DJ 3470. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, I guess this is a bad example. But yeah, and then when you're done, you get this, you get a plot. This is horrible.
Right,
Well,
right.
because
Yeah.
this was the bad, this is when the clouds were there. If I let it run longer, it'll be these lines all straighten
Move out a
out.
little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I just threw away all of this when um,
And then the output file, basically the CSV file, is what it dumps out into.
no, um,
What's it produce as far as a time series?
Yeah, I mean, it's a AAVSO file. I mean, it's a CSV file, but
Okay.
it's not meant to go into Excel. It's meant to submit to AAVSO.
All right.
But
Yeah, but
it's
can
a
you dump it out to where you can plug it in Excel and play with it?
Sure. Oh yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and like Phoranso, um,
Yeah, this is kind of another question I had from here. Let's say we came up with in one of our clusters some good variable plots. Then what? I have Phoranso, but all I've done is I've opened up the Phoranso graph and that's it. I haven't played
well,
with it.
well, like okay, so let me let this run
Well,
for just a little longer so that,
yeah, what I usually do, Art, is then I go off do period analysis in Phoranso.
Yeah,
Not
that's what I meant to say. I was saying Phoranso.
Oh, Phoranso. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, so I
yeah,
think we're talking the same thing here.
yeah. Okay.
So you're familiar, Doug, with Phoranso?
Yeah, I've used that quite a bit. So once we
Okay.
get to that stage, yeah. I mean, it's
Okay.
got probably, I don't know, what has it got, Jeff? 2 dozen different algorithms you can run or run
yeah,
something in there.
it's a
So I mean,
fantastic,
it's
yeah,
it's yeah, it's a state of. I mean, it's one of those things where you got to hold your mouth just right, also, to kind of get what
Okay.
your answer is.
yeah,
Yeah,
let me
yeah. But
see
I'm
here
familiar
if
with that.
I've got some, where is it? Here we go. Um, you're interested in RR Lyrise, so
Yes. Lives.
oh wait here, come on, open.
So again, if something happens and it kicks us off here in a few minutes, I'll send out an email directly to with my other
Okay.
Zoom number we can log back into. So
I
I
think
don't
we,
think it'll do that, but since
I
Here
think
we
we
go.
can see there
Let me
4 minutes, so it should be good.
yeah, and um, so now I've let it run for a little while. I'm just going to stop it, and then if you do this,
yeah,
this is just a bunch of junk. But you see here,
Send
if
it
you
to Phoranso.
yeah, you click this,
oh
and
yeah, okay,
and now share.
makes sense that he would link them up because he built both of these.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's the one that just came over. And then
Mm-hmm.
this is actually, I was working with one of, it's actually a student of Matt Craig's. Um, and these are an RR Lyra that has the Blazko effect.
Ah,
So you
What's that?
see how it's modulated,
yeah,
the amplitude.
yeah.
But if you zoom in on one of these,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what is that effect you're referring to?
Lonzo effect. I'm trying to remember. Jeff knows what it is.
well, so I mean, this is a typical RR Lyra,
Mm-hmm. Light
the
curve. Yeah.
light curve, and then this, I couldn't observe it long enough, but you'd see it
Yeah.
taper
Taper
down
off. Yep.
to the, it'd be the the exponential, and then the slower decay, right?
Right.
um, and so I can find, with all of these I can find the period, um,
Mm-hmm.
and using Phoranso, I can go, um,
Yeah. There's all those different algorithms you can select from. So
and it'll show
maybe
you
not selecting.
the power spectrum,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know what I don't remember what the period of this one is, but and then
Uh,
you can get a folded light curve by just
Hmm.
yeah.
clicking this.
Yeah. It's a
Um,
nice tool. Yeah.
and um, anyway, and I just did this because I did a talk at our club last month about RR Lyras and what the Blazko effect is, and so all of these are, when it jumps up, right? And what it's showing is that the amplitude in the range changes over time. There's a period. There's actually a periodicity to this. I don't really have enough nights here to, but there's the the main um, pulsation, that you see in one of these.
The characteristic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pulsation.
but then there's another
Second one.
slower pulsation that's layered on top of it, that causes this, so this up and down between these is that second pulsation mode.
Hmm.
It's so, and then so sometimes they reinforce and sometimes they don't.
The different colors represent different stars, though, don't they?
No, these
No,
are
it's
just different.
different
We just
bands.
observe it in different wavelengths.
Oh,
So,
Yes.
okay.
so this
Okay.
is I band, R band, V,
Yeah.
and B.
Gotcha. All right.
Um,
Now, those are some nice curves. I like those.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
so this is,
Good
if I
job.
understand correctly, the sort of thing you're looking for around the globulars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so with Phoranso, I mean, it's just a matter of you know, you take your one of the fits images in. You just need one, and plate solve it. See if there's known ones. They're just in the case that I looked at, there were a bunch of them that were known.
So I thought Phoranso was designed where you could basically give it a whole field and just say go, and it would automatically go in there and pick out all the variable stars and run light curves on everything. No.
Yes, it will. Yep.
Oh,
That,
okay.
so that was the whole point of
It
okay.
was the
So
cloning
let me
function.
share. Yeah, like so. Oh, what happened to my Zoom? There it is.
because I think that's
Share.
what Brady was. I had a discussion with him when I first loaded this thing a year ago, and he's like, "Oh, you'll love this, Doug, because it can do all that instead of doing it
Yeah.
individually."
So when I opened this,
Mm-hmm.
all these gray ones, every
Yep.
one of those is a variable.
Okay.
And when I made so let's do this one. Here's it's 16th magnitude, so it's gonna
That's pretty low, but yeah.
let me
Yeah.
let's see here. I think I've got let me just look around. Um, where's one that let's see. Shoot. Just trying to think. Well, here's your globular. There it is.
Yeah, that's the one I have up right here. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So here, let's do this one.
808.
Yeah, so there it is.
Okay.
And it's actually a pretty big field.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just solve it.
Now, if these images are already solved, it seems like I get an error when I'm doing the photometry about solving sometimes. I guess I need to email. Is his name Tawny or Tony?
Tani? Yeah.
Tawny.
Oh, yeah.
So I never understood that. If it's already plate solved, why is it giving me errors about plate solving or trying to replate solve it?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
No,
Okay.
I mean, usually I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
But it may have issues with globulars. I see it's taking a really long time. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so it got it.
Yeah. No, put one in the center of it. I don't believe that.
Yeah, so let me, yeah, all right. Yeah, and you see how it's found all this stuff around the outside, but not in the middle. And so now let's see if I load the catalog.
Yeah.
These are all the known ones.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of them in there. Yeah.
So there's a bunch of them in here, and oh yeah, you can see I'd made some cards for some of them.
Okay. Yeah.
But like here's one. So let's so I'll show you how to do all of them. Or most of them. I mean, you go, okay, copy the name, and then I'm gonna go make a new card, and paste the name in there, and I'm just gonna go look it up because it's known, and then I'm gonna click this, and I'm gonna just pick one at random, and now it's gonna sit here because it's plate solving that image. This is going to take it a minute. There we go. Still working.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, now it's getting stars from APAS. And it takes a while because I think it actually is trying to find all of these that it can resolve in the globular. It's just most of them aren't in the catalog. Oh, come on. Guess I should have used ASTAP. I think it's faster.
Hey Jeff, I was just doing it along with you, but my like solver that came up when I did it, it was like the WCS one. Does that one work as well?
The oh, the built-in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I yeah, it may well. um, okay, so now what you have to do is pick some comp stars, and this thing is 13th magnitude. So here's a comp star, and
Okay.
let's see, and this was on in R.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
Okay.
try to make sure that it's got an R magnitude, which
Right
this
off the
one,
bat, he finds one in our mag. We are struggling.
yeah. Well, that one's got one. That
Hmm.
one doesn't. But yeah, I mean, you just kind of have to hunt around.
Well, plus I was trying to stay close to the target, but I guess it's just not feasible to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's got R. Yeah, and you see, it's the brighter ones that have the
Mhm.
R mag.
Yeah.
So I'll just pick that as a reference.
Okay.
And I don't know, there was some down here. There's one. And then I'll just pick this one as a check star. And then I'll say save, saved it, and then I'll say clone. And I'll go over here. And if you want to, you can literally highlight all of these.
Okay.
And then you
So
just
it's
hit.
cloned everything it knows about in the field of view there? Is that what it's done?
So these are all these ones that were gray over here.
Yeah,
This is all of them except for
got it.
the ones that I've already got. I got
Okay.
variable cards for them.
Yeah, okay.
And then this is the information. If you look at individuals, it's telling you what variable type is in VSX. The
Okay.
mag range. If it's a these are eclipsing binaries, so it's telling you the period. Here's an RR Lyrae. It's telling you the period.
Okay. So you can just select all those if you want.
Yeah, so I could select all of them, or I can go
So,
through and I can say, well, I want this one and
oh
this one
yeah,
and
just
this
run the
one,
subset
and
of them.
I
Yeah.
want that one. And then you just hit save ID cards.
Okay. So if I select all of them, say save ID cards, it's going to save ID cards for that whole list.
For all of them.
All of them. And then if I go run and say, okay, go run the photometry on it, it's going to do all those ID cards.
Yep.
Wow.
All the one, and they'll all turn yellow. Like
Okay.
if I say save ID cards,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
takes it a minute. There we go.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of hard to tell, but all the ones that I clicked are now yellow. And if I say, and then I can close this.
Okay. Yeah.
I can close all of this stuff, and then I go up here and I say photometry.
Yeah.
And I select, and it's actually in the right directory here. And I'm gonna come on, Windows. All right, and then I'm gonna clean the photo memory because I did this before already, just so you can see it. And then I just say go.
So yeah. It's going to take a while, right? Because it's got a lot of stuff
Yeah,
processing there. So.
it's got a lot of plate solving to do.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
fact, let me stop it and
Well, you said so.
well
Plate
here
solving.
I'm gonna switch solvers. I'll just try the auto solver, like Grace was saying here. I can start it going again. Come on.
But if all the fits images are already plate solved, is that what you were talking about earlier, Art? Why is why
Well,
you have to plate solve it again?
once you've solved them, it remembers.
Okay.
It has a cache.
But it has to
Um,
be,
But
well,
it has to solve it. It can't pick up a
right.
solved.
yeah, it doesn't seem to,
It doesn't like
because
that.
like most of my images are already solved.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. It's already gone through and painstakingly solved, plate solve those guys. Why is it doing it again? But okay. It wants to
yeah,
do
it's a
it.
pain here. Why is it not?
You've overloaded it.
Okay, it's trying. Oh, there
Need
it
you to
goes.
need a Cray supercomputer on your end.
Yeah,
I don't think that company even exists anymore. Didn't Sun Microsystems buy
it
them
got
out?
bought by HP.
HP bought them? Okay.
Well, ultimately.
You just have to go visit their hardware site up in Chippewa
They
Falls, Wisconsin.
they still, yeah, they still exist. I have friends that work there.
And so is
Yeah,
it
man,
running now?
it is really slow. All
Okay.
right, I'm gonna try ASTAP. ASTAP is usually quite performant.
But the result is it'll generate light curves for everybody that you selected out of that card list, right? And
Yep.
then
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, and
that's
you'll get a
yeah.
whole directory full of report files. Yeah, see there,
Now you can
ASTAP's.
do that for all those known ones, but then you could go in there and also select other suspected ones that you thought might be variable stars, but are not in the catalog anywhere, and run it on that too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now here's all the ones that it's managed
Mhm.
so far. Like I can
Mhm.
say select all of these. Like,
Okay. Mhm.
okay, I'm not going to do them all because there's a lot more than it looks like here.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I understand. Okay.
so I can but I can pick, here, I'll pick these, and if I say okay, so
Mhm.
now it's going to show me the light curves in
Mhm.
real time as it
Oh, in
solves.
real time. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can scroll over
Yeah.
and
Watch it.
it'll
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of, I like to do that with Image J. Watch
and
it
it'll tell
generate the
you,
light.
there's the 13th mag and plus
Mhm.
or minus 16 millimags.
Okay.
Man, it's just slow.
Okay. Well,
But anyway, that's
yeah,
how
we
you
got
do
the
it.
idea. Yep.
And then when you're done, there'll be a directory
Bless you.
called
Where it's,
reports.
yeah, where it's dumping everything.
Uh, yeah, when it's done, it'll create a folder here called
Mhm.
reports, and inside that will be all of the CSV files with
Okay.
the information for one for each one of these stars.
Yeah, it's already selected. Okay.
Um, yeah.
So I guess we need to decide, do we want to do every star we can get our hands on or whittle it down to certain variables?
Yeah, so I was thinking I've got a clock chime in the background. I'll let it finish before I try to talk.
Wow, it's just slow. Um, but like I said, once you've done it, once it's if you don't do what I did and erase the memory, I shouldn't have done that because then it would have probably zipped right through it. But
Well,
once you've done that, you can if you add more, it'll still zip through them because it remembers the plate solution.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, it won't go back and reprocess the ones you've already saw before.
It
I was hoping you'd say
you know,
yes.
I'm not, you know, now I'm not sure, but I think if you add new cards, it'll do it again. But
Well, I mean, you could just go select those new cards, right? You don't have to
I
like.
think it
Yeah.
starts over from the first file, first fits
Okay.
file.
Okay.
But it's smart enough to know that it already solved it, so because it caches the plate solution in that memory folder.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
unless you go erase it,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, which
Okay.
I did.
In what situation would you want to erase it?
I just do it
Mm-hmm.
because I don't, you know, just save space. But you know, because once I'm done, I'm kind of done.
Yeah.
Okay.
After a while, we'll fill up our terabyte external drives. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, and then the other reason is sometimes I'll go and change the comp stars,
Mm-hmm.
and so out of habit I'll just go erase that just because I get worried about whether it cached. You know, I don't know exactly what all it caches.
So if you're going to change something that might affect a photometry, you need to clean that, and then you're just going to have to kind of suck it up and replate solve everything.
Yeah, I mean, I won't claim that it's actually necessary. That's just
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, so that's what I do to.
Mhm.
Because normally this isn't an issue. Normally, if it's not a globular, it'll just zip through it, right?
Right.
I mean, especially with ASTAP, it'll do a probably faster than one fits file a second, um,
Okay.
even if there's zillions of stuff in the field of view. Um,
Okay.
All right.
so,
Good. Yeah,
um,
Art, I was thinking after watching all this, we probably need to regroup and kind of decide and focus what it is we want to try to get done, right? Because
And have a strategery.
yeah, we're already here, 1st November. Well, if we want to get something, abstract into SAS, I think that's into February or something, which well, we still have months. However, you know,
Yeah.
we, you know, we should,
Holidays and all
yeah,
that.
yeah, we probably ought to try and decide what is we want to. I mean, I got some ideas, so maybe I'll kick some emails out to you and Grace. We have to do it online here. So since we've kind of already used up our hour this evening, I want to keep everybody. So
Okay.
that sounds all right for you, Grace. So
Yeah, that sounds good.
okay, good. Geoff, thanks very much for this. I mean, you're welcome to join this group if you want. I know as if you don't have anything else to do, but I mean,
Right.
yeah, I've been mighty busy lately,
yeah,
so.
that's what Art was saying. He's working like a full-time job and all this stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I probably end up spending 3 or 4 hours every day just reducing data from the prior night,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I'm developing a pretty hefty piece of software right now, and
Oh,
so,
cool. Okay.
um, to, yeah, so it's been occupying all my time.
Well, thank you
Excellent.
for joining us, and
Yeah, thanks very
you
much.
cleared up a lot. Really
Well,
did.
hopefully it's helpful. I mean, I won't claim to have all the answers, but
No, that helped a
um,
lot. Yeah, helped me a lot.
Me
you
too.
know,
Mm.
well, and you'll find the other thing I'd suggest is that because you had some pretty specific questions that I think you'd find Tani is quite responsive.
Yeah, he is. I found that.
And the other thing is that if you get on the AAVSO community forums,
Okay.
I think you'll find people are really helpful there as well.
Okay.
Maybe more helpful than you want sometimes, but um,
Mhm.
but the real expert on this stuff is a guy named Ken Menzies, um, and he's real active in the forums. He's a great guy. I had dinner with him last weekend
Okay.
at the meeting, but uh, he's the one that taught me years ago, um, and he knows way more about photometry than I do. So, yeah. And actually the truth is Arnie is pretty good about responding to photometry questions, since that's his bag, literally wrote the book on it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Great. We'll stop recording here.